home, traveled about 7,000 miles to play 5 games, and it was some rough road games. But the Las Vegas tournament, South Point Classic, was a really good experience for us. We got to play Niagara, which was a lot like us, and we got to win. And I think the most important thing was, we rebounded well, and we were able to get some players back. With our injury bug we've been having, we were able to get Skylar Goodwin back, and I think it kind of calmed us down at the point position, even though she may not have played one of her better games, but it helped us to get back into what we were doing, or what we wanted to do against that game, and it was pretty good. And then we go into the Cleveland State game, and a very athletic club. Their guard was, I think at one time, 6th leading scorer in the country, and I think she's probably about 12th, 13th right now. Very, very good guard, very quick. They were athletic, shot the ball well, didn't play extremely well defensively, and came away with a loss. And then going into the Mississippi State game, the thing that I like about the Mississippi State game, been knowing Vic for a long time and have studied what he's done, and actually when he was at A&M got to spend some time in practice. So we're a lot alike in our systems, and it was good to see that system being run by some really good athletes. And I thought they did it pretty good. After the game, he approached me and said it's the best they shot it all year. And I don't know if we had something to do with that, but yeah, they shot it really well and scored. And we offensively struggled taking care of the ball. We really worked hard on press breaker and all that, and didn't really handle it that well. And got really confused defensively, and something that we need to get working on. Great thing about it is we're getting ready to go into finals next week, and right after finals we'll be able to get into what we call our two-a-days and spend some more time and work on the defensive problems we have. And going into this week, I'm excited about playing McNeese. Casey Cryer is their head coach, played for me in high school. Actually started playing for me since she was 12 years old in AAU, so we have a great relationship. And I'm proud the fact that she's a head coach, and it's always exciting to be able to have an opportunity to play against McNeese. Hopefully we can continue to do that. So we're looking forward. I saw they had a great game last night. I think they lost about 4 to Tulane, so I think they could. Their post game is really, really good, so it could cause us some problems if we don't have everybody back by Sunday, and hopefully we'll have maybe 1 or 2 more players back by then. But be tough. November we play 2 SEC opponents, and we're going into December and we'll play 2 SEC opponents. So our schedule is going to be tough with 5 games before conference. So we're going to continue to work, and hopefully we can get everybody on the same page and be ready for conference. Questions?
Coach, you played one of the best teams in the country the other night in Mississippi State. What did they teach you about your team and kind of where your women are at?
Well, I think the consistency of what they do. It's like I don't think offensively and defensively, I don't think our systems are almost the exact same. But then you look at what they do, and they do it consistently. It's like they're pressing consistently, denying the ball, and we're kind of still trying to find ourselves. We're playing. Sometimes we got 3 or 4 freshmen in there, and they have no clue. It's kind of run where he started 4 seniors and a junior. So I think it makes a difference. Experience in college basketball is big. So I come away with, man, that system really works. And if you can get the kids to buy into it and learn it and be consistent at it, you can be pretty good at it. And hopefully that we, last night there were some times that we did exactly what we needed to do, and we couldn't make a stop. And I think that's what it's hard for kids these days to get through that. If it happens once or twice, they seem to kind of want to go away from they want to try to go find another way to do it. And I think with Vic, he sticks to what he does, and it was good to see that. Watch them play and how effective that system was, and his athletes he had, and how well they shot the ball. It was good to see that, and he's had a lot of success in the last few years, and he continues to improve, and that, it's kind of something that we need to look at and try to make sure that we keep our head straight and keep going forward.
Coach, how important is it for you to get your players back healthy, but not rush them back too quickly? Yeah, that's always the tough decision. You really have to have a great support staff to be able to figure that out. As head coaches, believe it or not, we don't get that choice. It's all on our support staff and what they think, how healthy they are, and if they're ready to play. I know one thing is that we're working really, really hard when the kids that aren't ready or we're trying to find other things to do to keep them in shape. I think that's been one of the problems we've had. We like to put them on the shelf, and I don't like, if you're hurt, you shouldn't be on a shelf. You should be working. And when it's your knee or your ankle or whatever, when you come back, you're ready to go physically. And so I think we're doing a pretty good job of trying, like for Jasmine Thomas, they're really working hard on trying to get her back in shape before she can come back in mid-December. And so that's kind of one of the things that I think we need to focus on, is trying to continue to work them out and get them ready for if that time comes when they say, hey, there, go. Or, so that's, it's really not my decision.
Do you feel like once you get the players back from injury, you'll be able to be better defensively?
I think so too. If you look at what we were doing against, perfect example, the first 4 or 5 minutes of when we played Toledo, we were up by 8 because we were pressing and we're doing, and then all of a sudden you got, you got Troy Swain that went down, and it just kind of the ship fell apart. It's like we quit guarding, and she was actually. It's funny how it is. I'm a firm believer. It starts with the point guard on defense. Everybody else thinks it's the inside game. I think if you can control their point and make them go east to west and force them to one side, and I thought Troy had done this year. She was doing a lot better job of doing that for us. That was her, our main objective for Troy: guard the point guard, keep her out the middle and all that. As soon as she went out, we had nobody that could do that. And so if we can get her back defensively, I think it could help. Skylar herself, she's a freshman and still learning the system, but boy, she's good at it. She's really going to be a good player, offensive and defense. So to get her back, and, she played 30 minutes last night, probably was way too much, but we had no choice. We kept her in the game. She got tired, and I think that's where her turnovers come from. But, I think, again, I'll say it again, availability is probably our best ability at our level. The kid has to be available to practice and to play, or our team will just be average. Or even actually right now, I think we're a little bit below average defensively. They're scoring anywhere from 70 points to 72 points a game. That's way too. In the 5 years we've been here, they've never done that. We've always kept them in the low 50s or 60s, and our scoring defense is not where we want to be. And it's lack of experience. We'll get there.
Coach was saying in the hall before, McNeese posed some serious problems if the team doesn't show up to play.
Say that again?
You were saying in the hallway before that McNeese can pose some serious problems for you guys.
Yeah.
Bring your A game.
Yeah. Yeah, their post game is pretty good. They got a couple of post players that are really good. They're scoring the ball, and I'm noticing the little point guard, the little Davis kid, is running the show right now for them and doing a pretty good job. And last year when we played them, they caused us some problems. We had to actually extend the game into the full court, and looking at some of the tape on them, and you look at like a team like Tulane that doesn't press, and how they play Tulane really well, and then they play Grambling, that it's a pressing team, and they struggle a little bit. So, I think we need bodies to be able to press like we want to against a team like McNeese. I think that would be, if we get in a half-court game like that, it could be a long game for us because of their post play.
Is there still a part of you when you play McNeese that there's just, with your history there, that it's a little more personal?
Yeah, it's always, like for us, I got hired by there 10 years ago when nobody else wanted to hire me. So I do have some personal, appreciation for the university and the president that was there, Dr. Hebert, and on down the line, Brooke Donald Williams, which is at Alabama. Without that, I probably wouldn't have this job here. So, I have a lot of personal contacts. And then with one of my players being the head coach right now, that's it's kind of exciting. So, yeah, and it's always been a rivalry. I come way back in the 80s when we were in the same conference, When we go play football, man, we needed to beat them. I hear Gerald Broussard say that all the time. When he rides to Lake Charles, he feels it, and he had an opportunity to coach there like I did too. And so there's a connection, and you want to, you want to get a win. I feel it, because I was a alumni of USL back then, and so there's a lot of connection and all that. And you compare, and even though you don't always recruit the same athlete, you're recruiting in the same areas and stuff like that. So you want to be, a step above.